Hello everyone, this is Jay from the Xcode, and in today's video I'll talk about the document object model in JavaScript, the DOM, okay? And we're going to play with the DOM for a little bit, alright? So over here on my text, in my text I have an HTML file, simple HTML file with a boilerplate and 3 headers and a list with 3 items, alright? So in today's video we will go over how to select elements in JavaScript, alright? And these are the 5 methods that I'm gonna go over. Get element by tag name, get element by ID, and get element by class name, and query selector and query selector all. Alright, so let's go over here on to my Chrome. Alright, so I have the HTML file open over here with my development tools. Alright, so first let's talk about what is the DOM object. So basically the DOM object is this whole entire window. Everything inside this window is accessible through the DOM object. So this entire window is an object, okay, and it's called document. So if we say document dot, you can see everything inside this window or over here, alright? This will show you all the attributes and methods available to you to use. Alright, so this is the document object, and we can select everything inside the document object. All these over here are inside the document object, and we can select them and play with them and change their attributes and behavior and style and all that. Okay, so but first we need to select him. And this is the way to select them, through these methods, alright? And then also I want to tell you one more thing is everything inside this window, every element in here is an object, okay? We select this object, these objects, we select them through the document, but these are objects. And then these objects have attributes and methods. That's how we change them, okay? Through their attributes and methods. We change their style, their behavior, and all that. Alright? But for today, we're just going to talk about how to select them. Alright? So let's delete this. Let's go over here. Alright? So let's go over the first one. Get element by tag name. And to show you how to do this is very simple. Let's make a variable and call it header. And let's assign it to, say, document dot. Okay, document dot get element. Okay, get element by tag name, and then simply we give it the tag name. Okay, so this is an h1. All these are h1s. Okay, so we give it h1, and this will return a list of all the headers. Okay, all the headers we have on our page. Alright, so if we hit enter and then we print header, we check, we can see we have an array of all the headers on our page. Alright, and I want to select the first one, so let's index this list, header, okay, equal header and the first. Alright, so I'm selecting the first header at index 0, and I'm assigning it to header. Alright, and so let's hit header, and as you can see, as I hover over it, the browser select it for us. You can see, so this is the first header, and if we say header dot text content equal to, let's say, hello world, as you can see the text inside it changed. Okay, so this is how we select it. We say document dot get through the document object and get element by ID method. We selected the object, okay, and this will return a list of all the objects with that name tag. Okay, and then we index it, and we get the first one over here, and then we changed one of its attributes, one of this object attributes, which is the text content. Alright, now if we hit clear, this will clear the window for us. And now let's go over the second method, get element by ID. And this one is pretty simple. First, let's refresh the page so we can get all our content back together. Alright, so now let's create a variable var header, and we can say header ID, okay? Equal to document dot get element by ID. Alright, you can see. And then over here we have a header with the ID header. So if we give it the ID name, which is header, alright, and say header ID, this should return the header, this one with the ID header, okay? So if we hover over, as you can see, it's selected for us. Now we can say header ID dot text content, and this will return, this will change the text of the header. Okay, as you can see, the second header, it changed. Alright. Also, we can change the background color if we want to. We can say header dot back dot style dot background. Dot background color. Can't see. Alright, and then say blue. Okay, so if you hit okay, as you can see, the background color changed. Alright, and there is a bunch of methods and attributes that you can apply to change how the header looks through CSS. You basically just hit header ID, okay, oops, header ID dot, and then I'll show you all the stuff that you can do. Alright, over here, and then you can do style dot, and you can see all the style that you can do on it. Alright, okay, enough of this. Let's refresh the page again. Let's see all this, and let's go over the third one, get element by class name. And this is pretty simple. Get element by class name. Let's create a variable header, and let's call it class. Alright, and say document dot get element. Oops, what happened? For header class for dot get element by class ID by class name. Alright, and then we give it the class name, and over here I have a header with a class name header2. Okay, so if we give it header2, which is the class name, and then close it. So with this will return a list of all the classes, all the elements with the class header2. So if we say header class, as you can see, it returned the object, this one, inside a list. Alright, so to select it, simply say header class, index it in the first index, and say okay, and then we got the object over here. You can see if we hover over it. Alright, so now we can say header class dot text header class dot hold on, is it correct? Header class dot equal to row. It did not work. Let's try again. Header class. Oops, I spelled class wrong. That's why. Dot text content equal to hello world. Okay. Header class is not defined. Alright, I think I made a mistake. Oh, I see why. I forgot to assign it to header. Okay, let's clear this first and I'll do it again. Alright, so let's go over here from the beginning. Alright, so we get the header inside the header class, and then we get a list. Alright, and then now let's select the header class equal to header class, and we want the first item. Okay, and then now we got the first item. Now if you say header class dot text content, we say lower. Alright, and as you can see, it changed. Alright, let's refresh now, and let's go over query selector, and this is my favorite one. This one is very simple. So let's make a variable var hello header, just header, and then select document dot query, oops, selector. Alright, and in here you select it just like you select CSS elements. So for a class, you select it dot and the class name. So if we have a class, we say dot header, alright, header 2, and this will select the second one, this one over here, header 2, because this is how we select it in CSS, dot header, and then we style it. So query selector is pretty much just like CSS when we select elements, and then if we wanted to select an ID, we put the pound sign, and then we write the ID name. Alright, so basically this is how we do it. So if we select header, so I'm going to select this ID over here, this first one, header, and then enter, and then if we check on header, it should return the header with the ID. Okay, you see this one with the ID header. Alright, so now we can say header dot text content equal to hello world. Okay, and as you can see, it changed. We also can do it for the class. You can say var header 2 equal to document dot query selector and then we can select the class dot and the class header 2. Okay, and hit enter, and then let's check header 2, and as you can see, return this one with the class. Okay, and we can change content header 2 dot text content equal to hello world. Okay. Alright, hello world with 3 L's. Alright, and then we also can select element with a tag name without the ID or class name. So we can say, let's clear this first. Alright, so we can say header tag, okay, forgot about the bar, header tag equal to doc name dot query selector, okay, and then we give it the tag name. Okay, so basically the same thing we do in CSS. We select element by tag. So if we say h1, this would do the same thing in CSS, h1, and select it, h1 header tag. Let's check on it, and it should return the first one. Okay, so it returns only the first one. If we select, if there is more elements with the with h1, it selects only the first one. So this one is h1 as well, but it didn't select this one, right? Because this one was the second one. Okay, if we see over here in the order, this is the first one, and the ID, the header with the ID, the second one, and with the class is the third one. So selected only the first one. Okay, that's always, it always does that. Okay, so now if we clear, okay, and the last one is query selector all, and what this does, it selects all elements with the same name, with the same element. Okay, so we say var all, say query document dot query selector all. You can see it over there, and then we give it the tag name or class or ID. So this basically is the same as the query selector, but with all, this one return a list. Okay, so it returns all of them. I know you know that the query selector just by itself it returns one element, but query selector all, it returns all elements with the same name. Okay, with the same class name or same tag name or same ID name. Okay, so say h1. Okay, and now if we say all, it should return, you see, it returned a list of all the headers. Okay, now we can loop over these headers and change every single one of them, the text inside every single one of them. So if we say for var I equals 0, we say I less than all dot in. Okay, and then we say I increment I. Oops. Sorry, I'm making all these mistakes. It's because I have two monitors and I keep looking on this one. Oops. Alright, let's make sure this is correct. Okay, and we say all, and then index it by I. Okay, dot text content equal to hello world. And then this should work. And as you can see, it changed all the text for all the H1s. Alright guys, so these are the 5 selectors that we can use to select elements. Alright guys, this is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.